Welcome to today's video where we will uncover the main causes of turmoil between feminism and the public. Misogynists have always despised and disliked core feminism since the beginning, even through the times when it was merely advocating the right to vote and equal wages for women back in the 20th century. Merriam-Webster defines feminism as the belief that men and women should have equal rights and opportunity. Also defined as the theory of the political, economic, and social equality of the sexes, and the key word there is equality. Equality is defined as the quality or state of having the same rights, social status, etc. Our highlight today will be the prejudice faced by the feminist groups and activism that causes numerous social and political issues. Misogyny is the biggest inhibitor of this behavior in most people, but the stats show it's mostly men, so realizing our misogyny is very important to decode feminism's requirement and what this demands. Whenever the word feminism comes up, there is a big misconception that it is anti-men. In Pakistan, any random person would tend to think that feminism wants to erase men from the face of the earth, and this is the reason so many sensitive egos are hurt in the process of advancing feminism. While honestly, if we take a closer look, we will get to know that feminism advocates for equality between the two genders rather than ways to defeat each other. Another common misconception about feminism is that feminists hate traditional gender roles and seek to abolish them entirely. This misunderstanding stems from a fundamental misinterpretation of the feminist movement's goal. Feminism advocates for the right of individuals to choose their roles freely without being constrained by societal expectations based on gender. In contrast to the first world countries, it is very strange for a conservative man to allow his wife to work in a public space in Pakistan. They think that the centuries-old gender roles are perfect for today and must be followed. And if anyone ever questions it, they are marked as the enemy of norm and culture. In this kind of a society, feminism only wants to enrich the concept of choice, that a female should be able to freely choose their fate rather than living a life that is predefined by the society.
Its first female truck driver, and she's a badass.
मैं अपनी ख़वातीन हज़रात को ये पैगाम देना चाहूँ, आप लोग कुछ ना कुछ करो.
Shamim Akhtar didn't let being a single mom in a gender-normative society hold her back.
Bizal jedara de sara motoro de jedaro ka minga par izra gedara kol khudi jeda gaade rawan ko aw da gaade uchero zamin da zekhane bilkul badal ko.
And now she's teaching men skills she learned in a heavy vehicles training course.
हमने अपने आप को सुस्त कर लें कि कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते तो कुछ भी नहीं होता.
We are Muslims and feminism isn't for us. This is a very common viewpoint of the mullahs and Islamic extremists who fail to interpret the Islamic teachings the right way. Our faith actually praises equity for both genders, and history proves it. The problem behind this bias is that men dominate religious institutes that always regulate the sensitive topics to their own liking. Let's hear about an example from Alam Rabit at TED.
So that's what I did. And it surprised me how easy it was to find women in my faith who were leaders, who were innovative, who were strong, politically, economically, even militarily. Khadija radiallahu anha financed the Islamic movement in its infancy. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for her. So why weren't we learning about her? Why weren't we learning about these women? Why were women being relegated to positions which predated the teachings of our faith? And why, if we are equal in the eyes of God, are we not equal in the eyes of men? To me, it all came back to the lessons I had learned as a child. The decision maker, the person who gets to control the message, is sitting at the table. And unfortunately, in every single world faith, they are not women. Religious institutions are dominated by men and driven by male leadership, and they create policies in their likeness. And until we can change the system entirely, then we can't realistically expect to have full economic and political participation of women.
In conclusion, we have to understand the true requisites of feminism and stop believing in misinformation spread by the nonchalant majority of men and people around us. Feminism at its core values is very much needed to empower the women of our society, but we can only do so if we stop with our prejudice and biased opinions of it. I hope this video helped our audience understand how